Hello, I'm back here with another knife. Today I wanted to show you guys my three-leg dog, P6. This particular knife has M390 for blade steel, and it's got black G10 scales. Or excuse me, not the scales, but this part right here. Going around the scales is black G10, and it's got, I'm reading the card here, the inlay is Burl, and it says something else after that. I'm gonna put this right here so you guys can get a look there. Anyway, that's that. You guys can pause the video and read that. But some sort of wood. And this is number 2201. Build date was January of 22. So this knife I've had for a while, and I believe it's three-leg dog, but the maker is Riaan Manser. He's South African. If you guys don't know, or if you haven't looked into the South African makers, this being one, Andre Thorburn, and gosh, there's quite a few others. Probably the biggest name, I guess, out there would be Gareth Bull with the Sham, but that's a really hyped one. If you know kind of what's going on in the knife world, you'll definitely know that knife. But this one I bought, I really like the blade design on it. It's really, really well done. And in person, it just looks so freaking cool and nice. The way it's got that, I believe, hand rub satin here with the polished flats up here. Nice jimping. It's just really nice. There's other reviewers out there that have talked about this maker and this knife, and they're 100% correct in that while it's not necessarily by all definitions of an affordable knife, I believe table on something like this is at or around $500 to $600 if I recall. But you can pick these up on the secondary market for, a reasonable amount, probably 400, 450. And at that price point, it's honestly like these guys meaning anyone in South Africa is making a great knife at a great value. Thorburn makes such a great knife along with Three Leg Dog here that it really kind of puts things in the perspective, I guess, from a material standpoint for what you can get if you look outside the United States. The wood here, I'll bring this up to the camera. It's got a really nice grain to it. It's almost got this matted finish. You can't feel the spacing. Well, I guess you kind of can a little bit going from there to there, but everything else, get my hand out of the way, the focus doesn't like that. Can't feel the the lines at all, just perfectly done. You turn it over here and same thing. Interesting enough, if you notice this spot up here, so that um, came that way from the maker. It's in the wood, so I guess you could call it a defect, but it's not really a defect. It's the character of the wood. It's just how it is. So it's kind of interesting to note, I suppose. The wood itself, as you can see, kind of has a tiger stripe. Well, maybe not on this side, but definitely this side, kind of a tiger stripe look to it. Anyway, it's just really cool. Just a really cool knife. Really cool inlays. The blade is this uh, not cleaver style. I guess I don't really know what you call this. You guys can tell me and help me out better there. The jimping on it, to talk about the knife a little bit here, the jimping on it's really, really nice. I guess if you had really sweaty hands, it would potentially be a little bit slick, but it's definitely not to the point you're just going to slide forward. I have some knives where the jimping on it simply leaves a lot to be desired because you'll slide forward with any amount of sweat that you might have on your hands. And then on the opposite end of that spectrum, um, you know, it can be so aggressive that it just hurts. Uh, this is kind of just right there in the middle. The action on it is excellent. It just kind of flies right open with minimal effort and just boop, open. You know, you don't have to use your wrist at all. Um, no lock stick or anything like that. Locks up, rock solid. It's everything you'd expect, right? Um, for a knife like this, it's just the one thing I guess you kind of don't expect, especially if you're used to kind of what the U.S. makers are putting out, is just at this price point, you're kind of at that, like at a retail would be a Chris Rusabenza, I guess would compare, just from a monetary standpoint. Maybe a Hinder, right? But this has, like, to me, just more character, and it's a custom piece. And so that just makes it more special to me. And the fact that they can do this at this price point uh, is really cool. Um, you know, I don't know the blade geometry on this, but it's pretty thin behind the edge. I mean, this is extremely sharp, um, and you can tell just you know cut through just about anything pretty easily. Now, when it's closed up, I'll give you guys a good photo there on that side. And then if we throw this thing on the scale real quick, let me zoom out. Let's see here. I'm going to change my units around. Let's see. Come on, guys. Come on, grams. Let's go to ounces. Throw that on there. 4.8. So it's not the lightest knife, but honestly, in hand, it doesn't feel bad at all. Um, Especially once the blade's deployed, balances out nicely. Now, the grip in the hand is great. I have medium-sized hands, and I don't have a problem with it at all. Um, yeah, no issues at all there. You can come up on it. Now, bringing your finger up here into this choil, I would say, I don't know, you're kind of in the danger zone there. That blade's definitely, if you're to really dig in, I could see a situation where you cut yourself potentially. So I don't know if I would do that, but of course, if you know you're just doing something real light, then yeah, not a problem. Or if you, yeah, I don't know, it's doable for sure, but exercise caution, I guess, is the best way to describe what that's like. Um, let's see what else. The flipper tab, it comes out quite a ways here. Um, I guess I'd like to see that maybe in a different, just done maybe slightly differently to where it doesn't need to stick out so far. But it's not that big of a deal to me. It'd just be a nice to have. No jimping on the flipper tab, but I don't think you need it. It sticks out so far that you can easily just um, get a nice purchase on it without the jimping. Some of the flipper tabs, they can be a bit hidden, or they're a bit shorter on design. And what the maker will do to kind of compromise for that is to put some aggressive jimping on it, just to make sure you get a good purchase on it, which is appreciated. Just in this case here, given the size of the flipper tab, it's just not necessary. Yeah, excellent knife, from an excellent maker. This is my only knife from him, but I would get more as I find them and like them. They make so many different ones, these South African makers, that finding one that's your taste, you kind of got to be on the hunt and constantly pay attention to either the secondary market, or pay attention to the dealers. In this case, if you guys aren't familiar, it's a company called Blade Gallery. They're out of Seattle. They're pretty much the go-to, I think, in the United States, for anything South African. whether it's Three-Leg Dog or Andre Thorburn or, anything really. Go over to their website. They've got literally hundreds and hundreds of knives from these various makers in South Africa and other parts of the world. It's a pretty cool website. So yeah, the locking mechanism on this, as you can see, is a liner here. As previously discussed, excellent lockup. It's locking up here at about, let's see here, I would call it 30%, maybe 40. So not too far over, plenty of room to wear in further. Absolutely zero lock stick or anything like that. Just a really well executed knife. You can tell just a lot of attention to detail, a lot of care took place when putting this thing together. And it's appreciated. And for the price point, you're getting a lot of value for your money. Yes, it's not a cheap knife, but it's also a knife where you don't feel like you got hosed. I think we all have probably situations or knives where you bought it and you receive it and it just kind of blah, especially in the custom world. If you guys have ever messed around with any sort of custom knives at any price point, just anything that's not, you know, mid-tack, or I guess you could say production, but anything higher than that, I purchased some. I won't say anything on this video, but you receive them and you're just kind of like, man, that was a lot of money. And to be honest, I don't think it was worth it. This is for sure not one of them. Definitely pick one of these up if you have the opportunity. Pay attention to the secondary market if you don't want to pay retail, because you can get a nice discount. These aren't knives that command retail or table price. You can typically get a good deal on them, and so I'd advise that you check out any sort of secondary market that you're aware of. And then of course, if you just want to take the plunge, or even at table price, these are an excellent value. So keep that in mind. So head over to Blade Gallery and check out Three-Leg Dog, and see if there's anything there that you like. And if you absolutely love the knife, go ahead and purchase it, because I promise when you buy it, and you compare it to anything else in your collection, it'll match up right with it or exceed your expectations. So yeah, hopefully it gives you a little insight there into Three-Leg Dog. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. Thank you.